Europe did not accidentally fall into World War I, it walked into it, deliberately, confidently, convinced it was in control. In 1914, the most powerful governments on earth believed they had mastered war. They thought conflict could be measured, scheduled, contained. Assassinations had happened before, crises had flared and cooled, diplomacy had always stepped in before the edge became a cliff. This time, they believed, would be no different. They were wrong. Because the moment the first mobilization order was signed, war stopped being a debate between politicians. It became a process. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand did not doom Europe. It exposed something far more dangerous, a system that had quietly removed the ability to hesitate. For decades, Europe had built a web of alliances, defensive pacts, mutual guarantees. Every treaty promised security. Every promise reduced flexibility. On paper, it looked stable. In practice, it was rigid. Each agreement carried an unwritten rule. If one moves, we all respond. Immediately. No delay, no pause, no reconsideration. Leaders believed this network would deter aggression. Instead, it ensured escalation. When Austria-Hungary moved against Serbia, Russia mobilized. When Russia mobilized, Germany activated its war plan. France followed. Britain faced a decision that had already been shaped by treaty obligations. Every nation insisted it was acting defensively. Every action narrowed the remaining options. This was not chaos, it was structure. The true weapon of 1914 was not artillery, it was mobilization. Modern armies were no longer small forces waiting in barracks. They were industrial systems, millions of men, railways mapped to the minute, deployment schedules calculated years in advance. Once initiated, mobilization could not be reversed without catastrophic vulnerability. Generals warned their governments, delay means defeat. Speed became strategy. Diplomacy began to look like weakness. Fear replaced restraint. Trains moved according to schedule. Orders were executed because they had already been written. War plans drafted in peacetime dictated reality in crisis. And political leaders, men who believed they were steering events, discovered they were operating inside a machine they could not slow down. War was no longer political, it was mechanical, and mechanical systems do not negotiate. The result was not a short, contained conflict. It was trench warfare stretching across continents, industrialized killing, empires collapsing under the strain, economies destabilized, entire generations reshaped by mud, wire, and artillery fire. The tragedy of World War I is not simply that it happened, it is how it happened. Not because leaders wanted catastrophe, but because they built a structure that transformed fear into inevitability. They trusted alliances to preserve peace. They trusted planning to prevent chaos. They trusted speed to guarantee security. What they built instead was a system so efficient that it eliminated human hesitation at the exact moment it was needed most. And that is the lesson that still matters. Modern societies continue to build tightly interconnected systems, economic, technological, military, that promise stability through coordination and speed. But systems designed for protection can become engines of escalation. When flexibility disappears, small events trigger large consequences. Control feels secure until it transfers from human judgment to automated response. World War I was not inevitable because of hatred. It became inevitable because choice had been engineered out. If this breakdown helped you see the war differently, not as chaos, but as structure, then that matters. Because understanding how systems fail is the first step toward preventing it from happening again. And if you want deeper historical breakdowns like this, the kind that go beyond dates and into mechanisms, consider subscribing. History is not just what happened, it is how it happened. And that difference changes everything.